How do you fight inflation, interest rates, and soaring home prices? Let's find out. Inflation has gone up 8% year over year, and energy prices have gone up a whopping 25%. To combat this inflation, the Fed has been steadily increasing the interest rate. They started in March by raising the interest rate another 0.25%, and then again this month in May, another 0.5%. Economists are estimating that the Fed will again raise interest rates another 0.5% in June, and with scheduled increase rates throughout the rest of the year. So how do these increases in interest rates affect you? Well, for every 0.25% increase in your rate, or 25 basis points, you're looking at another $25 every year for every $10,000 of debt that you own. Now, that doesn't seem quite a lot, but when you start looking at, let's say you had an ARM or a home equity line of credit on your home. In 2021, the average home price was $453,700. So for every 0.25% that your interest rate goes up, you're going to be paying almost another $100 a month, or $1,134 a year. Again, that's not an insane amount of money, but consider that that's for every 0.25%. We're looking at a full 1.5% increase that's projected by economists. So what that is going to hit you with is another $567 a month for your mortgage payment, or another $6,800 a year. Now that could price you out of a home or make your payments unaffordable. So with the Fed's increase in the interest rate of 0.5% this May, you should expect to see higher APRs in your credit card statements in 1 to 2 billing cycles. Now, if you're in the market to buy a new home now, you're faced with the triple threat of inflation, rising interest rates, and soaring home prices. With inflation, the cost of all the goods that you buy are going up, so you have less buying power and less money left over to pay for that mortgage. Rising interest rates hits you 2 times, one with your credit cards, and number 2 with the rates that you would qualify for your mortgage, increasing your payment. And finally, with soaring house prices, this market is just insanely crazy right now. Home prices have increased a crazy 19% year over year nationally, and 14.5% locally here in Colorado. So for a house that was worth $500,000 last year is worth $595,000 today nationally, and $572,000 locally. And that's so crazy. These 3 factors combined are squeezing the average person's ability to buy a new home. Now that we have identified the problem, let's look at solutions. You could take an a la carte approach to these solutions. You could pick the ones that work best for you. So the very first thing I would recommend is to call your current credit cards and ask if you qualify for a lower rate. This will reduce the rate on all your future purchases. The next step would be to ask them about promotional rates for new purchases and for balance transfers. Promotional rates are usually far below what your average rate would be. For example, your regular interest rate on your credit card could be 10%, but that promotional APR on purchases could be as low as 0.9% or even 0%. Another option is to take out a low-interest personal loan. These personal loans are typically far lower than your average credit card APR rate. And you could use these personal loan funds to pay off your high-interest debt. Now, to prioritize which debt you pay off first, concentrate on those with the highest interest rate and those that have adjustable rates that are not locked in, because that type of debt are what's going to be most impacted by these rising interest rates. So now that we've covered reducing your debt, let's move on to reducing your spending. Consider trimming your entertainment budget, your travel budget, and your subscriptions. Do you really need like 5-6 different subscriptions like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, all of that? When shopping, consider the generic brands, buying in bulk, using coupons or like the cashback offers that they have, and also the store loyalty programs that they offer. This next tip reminds me of my dad. Turn off lights when you're not in the room. Program your thermostat so it's not so cool in the summer and not so warm in the winter. Another tip is to not delay major purchases because it's going to cost you more later. So whether that's buying a car, buying a new house, doing major repairs on a house, like replacing a roof or doing landscaping, those sorts of things, get those done now because it's going to cost you much more in the future. Now, there is a slight silver lining for you savers out there. With rising interest rates, that means your rates on your savings and CD accounts are going to go up. Unfortunately, it's not enough to make up for the inflation difference, but at least it's hurting a little less. Right now, you're looking at about 0.54% on your savings and 1.7% on CDs. All right, that's it for today. Do you have any other tips you'd like to share? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.